Now, I talk a lot about tolerance being a low bar for humanity, but when you think about all the people who die because of religion all over the world, maybe tolerance is acceptable, right? Like, I don't get the hatred I see between the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims, because those are Abrahamic religions. They have so much in common. The Jews have the Torah, and the Torah is the Old Testament and the Bible. And the stuff that's in the Torah and the Bible makes up most of the Quran. One could argue that the latter two religions are really sequels to the first religion. And that's weird, to hate somebody because they like a sequel. That's like if I like the movie Back to the Future, but hate somebody who liked the movie Back to the Future 2, you know? You like Back to the Future 2, what are you, crazy? Where does it say anything about hoverboards in Back to the Future? When Doc Brown goes to his prophet Marty McFly, does he mention hoverboards and sports almanacs? Seriously. I mean, whatever, man. I mean, Back to the Future 1 is okay and all. Don't you call it Back to the Future 1? There is only one true Back to the Future. Look, I'm pretending that joke is about religion. It's really about my love of Back to the Future. I mean, let's be honest with you. I love Back to the Future. I love all time travel films, but I have one issue with all these movies, and that is the main character is told not to change the past, because the present will be forever altered. As if the present was so fucking great to begin with, But the whole time, Doc Brown's telling Marty, no, Marty, you can't change anything. Space-time continuum, your parents will never meet. The flux capacitor will blow you. You can't change anything, Marty. But Doc, if we can prevent slavery, certainly we should prevent slavery. No, Marty, you can't prevent slavery. Absolutely not, because if you prevent slavery, rock and roll won't exist, and jazz and the blues. No, Marty, you can't prevent the genocide of the Native Americans, because then rich white kids in New England can't play lacrosse, Marty. You can't. No, Marty, you can't prevent the assassination of Martin Luther King, because I want a day off. What don't you understand, Marty? Great Scott, I'm a racist, Marty. I'm a racist. I like how my impression of Doc Brown is... Oh, good Doc Brown. You can't change the past, because the present will be forever altered. And that's why people of color aren't allowed to go back in time, right? Because if we go back in time, there are going to be some changes, right? I mean, Columbus is dead in 1491. The British never make it to India. Man, I would be on the west coast of Africa as those slave ships come in, and I would turn to the people and say, you gotta kill them. You gotta kill them now. You gotta kill them. And the people would be confused. The people would be confused. I'm like, well, that seems a little strange. They just clearly came off of some kind of cruise. That's not very hospitable. I don't know if that's the nicest way to greet them. Wait, what is that? That they're gonna enslave us, and they're gonna kill us. And the movie The Blind Side, oh, these motherfuckers have to go. And she won an Oscar for it? What's an Oscar? I was doing that joke once, and I was saying how people of color never get to go back in time, and somebody yelled out, what about Black Knight? First of all, why did you see Black Knight? Secondly, why did I see Black Knight? Because I saw Black Knight, right? In Black Knight, Martin Lawrence, an African-American comic and actor, goes back to medieval England, right? Which undermines the whole joke, right? But here's the thing. Remember, I saw Black Knight, so at the end of Black Knight, Martin Lawrence wakes up. So what Hollywood is telling us is that people of color can go back in time in our fucking dreams. Man, I'm 30 years old. I'm talking about Weezer and Back to the Future. Jokes that maybe have a year left of shelf life. Right?